With hundreds of mods in the game and joining us as a new or returning player, you may be wondering what the best mods are in Destiny 2 and what mods you should focus on getting in preparation to the upcoming Witch Queen expansion to make all your new crazy builds for Void 3.0. I am making this video much earlier than I expected because H.E.L.M is known to, well, not sell mods for stupidly long periods of time, so hopefully this will give you all an idea of what mods to look out for, and to make sure you don't miss out on any, why not stick around here on the channel and I'll keep you posted each day. Now before we start, this video is sponsored by Oea. They sell cheap Destiny 2 silver on Steam. If that's something you're interested in, see the link below along with my discount code. Now in this video, we're looking at 13 mods that you should get as soon as they're available before the Witch Queen release. These mods will consist mostly of the main Charger Light ones and not the standard regular armor specific mods, and I've ranked each mod in order from what I believe are the best for PvE, with number 1 being the best, and you can find all these mods mentioned at H.E.L.M when available, so keep checking there every 24 hours. So starting with number 13, you want to get Wrath of Rasputin. This allows your solar splash damage final blows to have a chance to create Warmind cells and pairs really well with explosive builds. Now before you comment about this mod, yes, Warmind cells got a huge nerf, but this mod is stupidly rare and hardly ever gets sold. Now I'm probably gonna look like an idiot if this mod gets sold today, but honestly, despite nerfs, it's definitely something worth holding on to in case Warmind cells get buffed again in the near future. Now you can get this mod from H.E.L.M which is sold randomly, so keep an eye out each day so you don't miss the chance of getting one. In 12th place we have Global Reach, another super rare Warmind mod, and you'll be lucky if this one drops at least once or twice this season before the Witch Queen releases. But what this one does is allow your Warmind cells you create to affect and damage enemies at a greater distance, a must-have Warmind mod for Warmind builds. Now if you're wanting an actual Warmind build, the mods you would ideally use would be Global Reach, Burning Cells, Rage of the Warmind, and most probably Wrath of Rasputin. So those are the mods you should be looking out for if you are planning on using Warmind builds anytime soon. All of these mods can be found at H.E.L.M as part of the vendor mod stock that changes daily. So again, just keep an eye out each day so you don't miss them. Now in 11th place, I'm going with Radiant Light. Now mods that give you an active perk is one thing, but perks that give you a passive bonus is another. The only reason I'm going with Radiant Light is for the plus 20 strength from its secondary perk, which is what you really want for melee builds. That is if you're running low strength stat armor, or just generally don't have any armor that has high strength. Then this will really help you out, bringing that strength up by plus 20, which should save you from having to use 2 strength mods, and well, therefore saving you an extra 3 energy in your armor. In 10th place we have Lucent Blade. I was considering not to put this on the list, but this mod is so underrated, but then again, swords aren't currently in the meta right now, but what Lucent Blade does is give you increased damage to swords when dealing damage with a sword, consuming 1 stack of Charger Light which lasts 5 seconds. The damage bonus is a 35% and it comes under the buffing rule for stacking buffs, so you can't stack it with things like a Well of Radiance, a Titan's Weapon, a Light Bubble, or even other Charger Light mods. What you can do though is stack it with debuffs such as a Tether or Tractor Cannon, but this mod is great with all swords in the game, and I much prefer using this with my Lament Sword from Beyond Light, a must have mod if you do use swords. The 9th mod I have here is Extra Reserves, and the reason for this is that it pairs really well with Void fusion rifles like the Null Composure or Lorentz Driver, and you can essentially get infinite ammo by using this mod, and as a bonus, if you throw on heavy handed, you'll be able to generate even more ammo with its secondary perk, but this mod reads, while Charger Light, defeating enemies with Void damage grants a chance to drop special ammo, which consumes all stacks of Charger Light. The more stacks you have, the higher your chances of gaining the ammo drops. Great mod to use when farming things like solo Legend of Master Lost sectors, and well, with Void 3.0 coming in the Witch Queen expansion, I can see this mod having high potential, so grab it now when it's next around while you still can, to avoid any delays in obtaining the mod. Now Extra Reserves pairs great with mods that increase your total Charger Light stacks, which is why in 8th place, we have Charged Up. What this mod does is allow you to hold 1 additional stack of Charger Light, a pretty simple but effective mod for builds that benefit from a greater amount of Charger Light stacks such as Extra Reserves, Energy Converter, and even Protective Light. So definitely be on the lookout for this one, but the next mod we do have on our list in 7th place is Stacks on Stacks. Another pretty simple mod, it gives you an extra stack of Charger Light every time you get one, and pairs great with mods like Taken Charge and Shield Break Charge, as well as Elemental Charge. Basically any Charger Light mod that allows you to become Charger Light. Next up though, for place number 6 we have Supercharged. Now I know this should technically be the opposite way around with Charged Up, as Charged Up requires less energy to slot in, but Supercharged and Charged Up both pair great together to give you the max stacks amount to hold, which is 5. Another mod you definitely want to get hold of as soon as possible for all those crazy builds that require a lot of Charger Light stacks. Moving on to number 5, we have Energy Converter. Now there's no telling what changes will be made with Void 3.0, but I can always guarantee that there's likely to be no major changes when it comes to Energy Converter. Now this mod allows you to gain up to 50% of your super energy by simply throwing a grenade. Pairs really well with grenade builds that have a fast cooldown to get faster supers. Now just be aware that ability cooldowns are changing, so getting fast supers next season may not be as easy as it currently is, but definitely be on the lookout for this one because it doesn't hurt to have it in your collections ready. In 4th place we have Argent Ordnance. With grenade launchers, snipers and fusion rifles all having had a season of being the meta weapons, rocket launchers haven't yet had that, so with Witch Queen, rockets could be much better, as you always have new and returning rocket launchers coming into the game, like the Galahorn for the 30th anniversary, and using this mod will benefit all your rocket launchers to make them much stronger than they already are. Now again, like Lucent Blade, it doesn't stack with other charger-like mods and buffs, but this does read, readying or firing a rocket launcher grants increased damage and reload speed, consuming a stack of charger light. The mod itself stacks with multiple copies of the mod, which means with 1 mod active, you'll get a 20% damage buff, with 2, a 25%, and with 3 of these slotted in, you'll have a full 35%, with of course a plus 50 to the base reload stat of that rocket. An amazing top tier mod to use when playing solo, and this thing does tear through champions pretty quickly if you have the right build. Moving up the list to 3rd place for your top 3, we have Taken Charge. This is another rare mod sold at 8 to 1, but it's definitely worth it for all end game activities that you do like raids or Grandmaster Nightfalls, as it's the easiest source of becoming Charger Light. This is because you can use Masterwork weapons to generate orbs, to then just pick up those orbs and become Charger Light. It's as simple as that. The mod also pairs really well with Stacks on Stacks, and ideally the mods you would pair with Taken Charge would be Stacks on Stacks, Charged Up, Supercharged, and then your preferred Charger Light mod that consumes all of those stacks. Definitely worth grabbing as soon as you can. Now in 2nd place you were probably expecting this, but it's Powerful Friends. Pretty much your hunter's best friend because, well, the only mod in the game with a plus 20 mobility is almost a must have if you have low mobility stat armor for your hunter and you're trying to run high mobility builds for reduced cooldowns like having infinite invisibility. This mod will really help you get some of those builds that you're after, where your armor stats are just too low to achieve the 100 mobility. This mod is also super rare at 8 to 1, so when it's available, make sure you go for ASAP, and I mean, I'm not kidding. Treat it as if you're trying to pre-order the Xbox Series X because it's that rare, and you'll find it difficult to obtain again if you missed a chance. Lastly, in 1st place, it wouldn't be a top mods video without having Protective Light. This mod will allow you to significantly resist incoming damage when your shields are destroyed, consuming all the stacks of Charger Light that you have, and boy does this save you in Grandmaster Nightfalls. It's definitely your number 1 go-to mod, which is again, ultra rare at 8 to 1, so don't miss the opportunity to grab this mod when it becomes available again, or you could be waiting a fairly long time for it to come back. There was a time where a mod took over 6 months just to be sold at 8 to 1, and I actually think some mods are still coming close to that streak again, so that's how hard it is to get your hands on some of these mods being sold in the game, which is why I made this video to help new and returning players discover what the best mods are in Destiny 2 that you should be looking out for before the Witch Queen expansion releases along with Season 16. Now this guide does not consist of Elemental Well mods, which do have a lot of unique perks, so if you want to see what the best Elemental Well mods are in Destiny 2, let me know down below and I'm happy to look into it and possibly make another video separately for those mods, as there's quite a few to cover for that category. But guys, I've been Divide and I hope you found this one useful. If you have, be sure to leave a thumbs up and add a comment to show your support, and why not check out some of my other videos. I'm confident you'll probably find them useful, but until next time, keep grinding and preparing for the Witch Queen. Peace.